Welcome back to the Scare Value Podcast. Pete, we are still in 1986, and we got a double header today for us, not for the listener. We're going to be covering Psycho 3, and then we did a matinee, and we're recording this quickly in between going to that and going to the drive-in to watch Big Trouble in Little China. But people won't hear that until August for Watch-a-August, because we all know how much everybody loves Watch-a-August. So what we're going to do today is dive into the third chapter of Norman Bates' story. What do you think?
So you're not going to talk about this at all?
About Psycho 3? Yeah, I'm planning on talking about it for about an hour.
Really?
That's the format, yeah.
Not about maybe you're not quite as peppy as you used to be. You're not firing on all cylinders here. You're not bringing me the A game. We're in 86, buddy, and you're acting like normal time Brian. What's going on?
Yeah, normal time Brian sucks.
Uptime Brian.
Uptime Brian is a B-side.
Is a downside kind of guy.
Yeah, I've been around more the last couple weeks. I'm happy to say I've kicked my cocaine habit.
What, you and Lenny not friends anymore?
No, Lenny died.
Ooh. That's rough. What happened?
Well, we were out in Maryland. We've been hanging out, and we were having a big celebration. Something really, like Lenny had really good news, so we were celebrating, and there's a heart issue, I guess. You just never can predict those things.
Wait, is this that guy who was in the news, the basketball guy?
It got some coverage. Yeah, it got a little bit of coverage.
Isn't he like a famous person?
Well, I mean, maybe from our timeline, he was Hall of Fame basketball player.
Right,
got about half a dozen championships for the Celtics in the 90s. But hey, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. His heart wasn't good. I don't know what to tell you. I guess I can't help but feel at least partially responsible. But
okay, I didn't know we could. I thought we weren't supposed to affect things uptime.
Well, this is why I didn't really want to tell you about it.
Huh.
I mean, it's basketball, though. Do you really care if we affected basketball?
No.
I don't either. I mean, I was sad for about a day, mostly about not doing cocaine anymore. But it's basketball. I'm sure some other team will step in the 90s. I don't know who that'll be. That's going to be an adjustment, I guess. But how often do we talk basketball? It won't be that big of an adjustment.
I bet you this. I won't even know.
I won't even know.
I guarantee
I'll look it up. I'll look it up when we get back.
All right. You know what I looked up?
What's that?
Well, this is something different because now I don't care about basketball. I'm over this. I'm done. I've grieved. I've processed. You know how...
I don't know if that's healthy or not. Well, you didn't know him. I guess it's less healthy that I've grieved and moved on and processed.
Well, the news I have for you is going to be way more exciting. So...
More exciting than my friend dying in Maryland.
Way better.
At the age of 22.
This is going to take away all of those thoughts because I don't know the answer to this. It's a question I have. So when you go to the video store now, when you were a kid, they have the back room that's got the curtain draped across it. Did you ever go back in there?
Not as a kid.
Did you ever go back in? Because they don't exist uptime.
No, but I did when I was in college go back.
Really? I never did.
Yeah.
I went back now.
Oh, no.
I went to Major Video, and I was looking at what they have, because that's just what they do, and Betamax is funny. I don't know how to use it, and I'm not going to rent one because I don't know what to put it in, but possibly a toaster oven. But I decided I can go in the back room because now I'm a grown-up. I'm not like 6 years old anymore.
Yeah, you don't talk like you're grown up, but you're so excited to tell me this story about going into the back room at 47 years old.
Well, I can't believe you went. Wait, have you ever been to a strip club?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're doing all these crazy things.
We grew up right across the border from Canada. You can drink and they take their tops off there. That's the best times.
I've never been to a strip club.
Oh, okay.
Ever. All right, I'm going to put that on the list. A 1986 strip club.
Oh, I feel like 1980 strip clubs aren't going to be as good.
I got to find one. But anyway, so I went in the back.
I don't know why I think that, but I know I'm right.
Well, that's going to be a field trip we take someday. Oh, man, I wish Funtime Brian was around for this field trip.
Yeah, he's gone forever.
Yeah, him and Lenny.
It was. I'm over it now. We're not going to bring it up again. But it was an ordeal. Luckily, nobody knows why I'm here. And if they fingerprint anything, I'm 7 years old. So good luck.
And I think fingerprints change. I don't think they can count a 7-year-old.
You think fingerprints change?
Yeah, that's why people get away with crimes all the time.
Okay. I just wanted to restate that for the official record.
Yeah. Anyway, the back room, it's just a bunch of pornos and a bunch of weirdo guys renting them and reading the backs and stuff. Like, I need the plot of this one.
I like the plots.
Well, so did all these people. And you know what? You're kind of right, because I started reading them too.
Oh, one last thing before we get going on Psycho 3. I still have not been able to find Ron Cobb, DeLorean time travel consultant.
No? Good luck with that.
He must be out in his own time travel adventure somewhere. I guess, why wouldn't you be? We do it.
Yeah, you know what? I assume no problems will ever come of just willy-nilly going back and forth in time.
Unless you're a Celtics fan.
I guess.
In which case, I'm going to guess they didn't win all those championships.
Oh, is that
in the
who?
90s.
Is that the team that he was on?
Second overall. Imagine that bacchanalia that night.
Like I said, I don't foresee any complications.
I mean, yeah.
Now, anyway, this movie that we saw,
Psycho
it
3.
was Psycho 3. I don't know what I think about this movie.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
We watched it. I sat through it.
That doesn't sound like it's going to be a positive experience. I've never read a 5-star review that started with, I sat through it.
I did. I like Anthony Perkins. He's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I thought part 2 established that he was a good guy, and he killed that old lady who was crazy, right?
The one who said she was his mother.
But it was like his aunt or something?
Yeah, they go over that in this movie.
Okay, yeah, I got it in this movie, but in the second movie.
The entire plot of the second movie was that he's trying to be good. People are trying to tear him down. It's not working. But his secret mother does unlock the craziness in him, and it ends with him restored to insanity.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. I thought he was like not insane at the end of part 2.
It's great for an ending, though, for 2. And it lets 3 do something that the first 2 movies couldn't do. Because we actually get to see things through Norman's perspective for the first time, because there's nothing secret about Norman now. The first movie, you're not supposed to know that he's his mother. The second movie, you're supposed to question whether or not he's relapsed. This movie, you just know he's insane.
Oh.
So it lets you look at things from a third perspective that we didn't get the last 2 movies.
Well, I stuck with my second perspective where he was not insane.
Okay.
I never found a third perspective. So this movie was very confusing to me because he was just acting weird. And I would guess I was watching part 2 all over again because I was like, is he crazy or is he not?
Well, he doesn't know that he's killing people, though. He's back to full-on Norman Bates, where he thinks he's protecting his mother.
Yes.
To the point where they're having conversations with his mother. He's having a conversation with his mother, which we could never watch before and see how they worked.
He hides his face from the camera.
He
That's
only
how
did
works.
it for half that scene. It was weird.
I didn't. Well, I noticed when he was doing it. I didn't see what. Does he talk with the mom voice?
No. That's when they were hiding the mouth, I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Right.
Because the doctor at the end of the original movie says that he would walk around talking in his mother's voice. I don't know how he would know that. And apparently he doesn't. Because he was covering his mouth the first half of the first conversation they have, but then he stops doing it and is just reacting to her talking to him.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. So they had to make a choice there, I guess. They really didn't have to make a choice. It was kind of artful the way they were doing it.
Yeah, but then the movie's over. I didn't care.
Great review.
Hey,
Great recap.
we started with a lady in a nunnery, and this lady here, I'm going to give you her.
It opens exactly the way you'd expect the third Psycho movie to open, with a nun contemplating suicide.
Right. Instead, she knocks another nun down off the church tower, and that nun dies. Then this nun runs away.
And apparently the police don't care about murdering nuns. She doesn't run away, Pete. She goes downstairs, she packs a bag, she puts on a dress.
Don't they say goodbye to her?
They have a party. and then she walks away into the desert.
She walks away. Then throughout the course of meeting Anthony Perkins, she believes that she's found Mary.
This is why you don't do the recaps.
Well, no, because I'm following her arc only.
Okay.
Because we get to the point with her where she dies and nothing was accomplished.
This is why you don't do
nothing is
recaps.
Explained.
This is why you don't do recaps.
Listen here.
You went from she pushed a nun, left, saw Mother Mary, died. That was, but you are, to be fair, just on her journey.
Right, that is just her journey. And nothing was learned. Like, we didn't learn why she was trying to kill. Oh, and then she tried to kill herself, too, before she actually died.
That's when she saw the Virgin
Right,
Mary.
that's when she saw the. She tried to kill herself, so she failed at that again. But we don't know why she was trying to kill herself initially. Why, like, what the outcome? I guess you're right. No one cares about a nun being murdered.
I really think that the entirety of the suicidal part was just that she'd lost her faith. But these movies put so much emphasis on it, and like all these movies, it's like the end of the world when these religious people lose their faiths.
But then
and she didn't have anybody to go try to do an exorcism on, so she had no way of getting it back.
So instead, she went and met Norman Bates and decided, oh, I found my faith in saving him because I saw the Mary. Like, I'm gonna help this guy. And
that is not at all what happened in this
he
movie.
Kills her. That's the end of it.
That is not at all what happened in this movie.
What are you talking about? That's 100. She said, I tried to kill myself and I saw the sister Mary.
Okay, yes.
And then that like
You skipped a lot of things to get there, but sure.
Yeah, but that's where we're at. Like,
Okay.
She's lost faith. Has anything changed? She has no faith. And then she kills herself again.
No, yeah, you have missed it. You missed it completely.
She had no faith. And then she tried to kill herself. And then she saw this vision of Anthony Perkins coming to kill her as his mother, thought it was the Mary God. And then she says, oh, I have faith again. And people were all mean about Anthony Perkins again, saying he's a bad guy. And she's like, no, he's a good guy. And then she left the father who was there.
I really don't think you should do the recaps.
She left the father who showed up for some reason. And then she was like, I can save him. And then he kills her. So her faith, the reward was she gets killed?
I miss Lenny.
Look, it's just me now. I'm your only friend. Accept it. It's cool, dude.
Okay, let's try to talk through this at a normal pace. I don't know if you're all coked up now.
Look, one of us has to bring the heat.
Yeah, is that what I was like?
A little bit. But am I wrong? I mean,
Yes.
All right.
That's my fault. I tried to interject that several times. I guess it didn't get through.
All right. All right, then, Mr. Smarty Pants. Tell me what you think happened.
Well, your first mistake is that you can't look at the movie from the nun's perspective because she's not the main character. And since we're going to watch a famous movie where that's important to understand, it really worries me how you're going to react to watching Big Trouble in Little China. Because we both love that movie, Big Trouble in Little China, but we've never actually talked about the movie Big Trouble in Little China.
No, and we've never watched it together either.
No.
I'm
So,
excited.
When I was thinking about how excited I was to go to the drive-in, perfect drive-in movie,
Absolutely.
I was thinking about how excited I was. I was thinking about it, and I was like, does Peter understand why this movie works? I don't think he does. And I'm going to find out later today, and people will find out the first Wednesday of August. But I had genuine fear that you're not going to understand how that movie works.
I can tell you how it works.
We haven't gotten through to you understanding this one yet. Let's wait until we get to August for that one.
All right, then, Lena. Oh, so I'm a nun. I'm going to kill myself for no reason. That's the opening scene.
Okay.
And it'll never be explained either.
Again, every character in here is not Norman Bates, is not the person whose journey that you're supposed to be watching. Not that their journey shouldn't make sense, but that is not the lens with which to view the story of Psycho 3 from.
Well, what about Dookie Doug or Doug Duke or whatever?
Duke
What's his backstory?
Awesome. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm saying Jeff Fahey walked onto this set and said, I'm doing fucking Psycho 3 and I'm awesome. He was so fucking charismatic that I watched him sexually assault a nun and I was still rooting for him later in the movie.
But it was a creepy charisma.
It was the creepiest charisma, but it was sexy charisma. When he has that weird, pure 80s cinema schlocky sex scene where he's got the lamps pointed at his naked date and he's got them covering his crotch and like moving around the room like spotlights. Pete, I don't even know what I was thinking at that moment. I was just like, this is the weirdest, sexiest thing I've ever seen a man do.
There was a lot of nudity.
There was.
I was surprised. Like, I told you there was nudity in Psycho.
I told you that
one.
the third one moves more towards what the 80s slashers were. and kind of asks what is Norman Bates inside of the modern, now that we're here, 80s slasher. Because slashers are all the rage in the 80s.
Dude, that makes sense. Because when he had the one guy in the one girl in the freezer, the ice cooler thing, the ice chest, I don't know, the ice machine. That's comedy. You got the sheriff there with his hand scooping out ice, not looking down at the fingers.
What I like about the choice to do it is that on the surface, it's like, yeah, they're just bending towards the whims of the cheaper, worse slasher movies it inspired. But it's interesting to watch Norman Bates and his earnest portrayal of this character exist in the world of the schlocky, gory, nuded up 80s movies. No, it's interesting. It's flat out interesting.
That's what I mean. That's why I don't know when I say I saw this movie and I watched it, because it's not just terrible bad. It's Anthony Perkins. It's Norman Bates, as he said, existing in a slasher movie.
I think this is a much better movie than Superman 3. But
I don't remember Superman 3.
It coasts on the same thing, which is no matter how dumb or silly or not even that great the things around it get, Christopher Reeve is so fucking locked in as Clark Kent and Superman that you just enjoy watching the movie.
Okay.
And I think this movie does much better things around Norman Bates than that movie does around Superman. But it's still at the center of it is I'm fascinated by Anthony Perkins' character and his portrayal of this character.
Yeah. And you're right. Duke there was fascinating the whole time. He's just everything he did, though. I don't know. A lot of stuff went on. The sheriff who was on his side.
We're going to do that now because it seems like you're struggling over there.
I am.
It feels for like 3/4 of the movie, it feels like Jeff Fahey isn't even in this movie. Like he just wandered onto the set and didn't realize they were making a movie. He's so not like the rest of the movie. And he's not even really a part of most of it. He just is like around. And then it becomes part of it, but I find his character so fascinating because he's in his own little world.
Yeah, he makes more sense. He had goals. I want to know his backstory. He was a goddamn Confederate, though, too.
Yeah,
he had that rebel flag, and
Can you believe that the sexually assaulting creepy guy was also a racist? It's crazy.
Well, you said he was cool, and you liked him despite all of those things.
I could change him. Now we're going to recap this movie through the perspective of Norman Bates, because I feel like that's the proper perspective to watch it through.
Well, let's see who's right.
So the nun, whose name is Maureen Coyle, is the stand-in for Norman for Marion Crane from the first movie. She has the same short pixie blonde hair.
Marion Crane was a nun? I thought she was a business lady.
She has the same short pixie blonde hair. She looks a lot like Janet Leigh. Her initials are MC on the
oh yeah, they brought that
suitcase
up.
Where Norman would have packed up a very similar suitcase in the first movie. It, in a way, and you get to how like almost dismissive her death is. That's the important part, because it's not her story; it's Norman's story. And Norman, after a moment, sees Maureen as his chance of redemption, his chance to fix something that he did wrong, or that his mother did wrong. It's more about Norman wanting to protect her than it has anything to do with what she thinks of Norman.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot of thoughts other than, no, Jesus.
She thinks he's a good guy. Well, we're going to get to that, though. We're going to have to do the recap because you are lost in a world here. So she's wandering across the desert. She runs across Jeff Fahey, which is a bad person to run across.
He was driving the car.
He's such a creep that she has to get away in the middle of a rainstorm in the night. But he does have a great line. This is what I mean. This is what I mean about, like, yeah, I don't supposed to like you. I'm watching you grope a nun against her will. But then she gets out and he goes, stupid bitch, you could have been coming instead of going.
Yeah, that was a pretty good line.
It's a pretty good line. This is one of those moments where I know you can't do it in movies, but you should have turned around and been like, all right.
No, but you know what? That tells you that he's evil. Like, it's drawing a line in the sand. She's the nun who lost her faith. Now this is what she's seeing out there in the world. Like, this is the evil Satan world.
There definitely is a version of this they could have done where he was the devil on Anthony Perkins' shoulder and she was the angel, and they didn't do it. Because you're getting these two very extreme character types.
Right?
A literal tumbleweed rolls past the motel. So it tells you right away Anthony Perkins is not going to be a subtle director. But that's what's called for in Psycho 3 in 1986.
It is. I'm not knocking that.
It's like the exact right take for an 80s slasher, honestly.
It does. It feels it. It's because then they bring in the ridiculous. Oh, there's a high school football game, so people are coming later. Like, oh, good. Now we got people who, if you notice, weren't in high school either.
No, they said they weren't. It was going to be boosters and fans of the team.
Oh, okay. I missed that, but I figured that out after a while.
Well, Duke pulls up to the motel and inquires about a job. Well, Norman's stuffing his birds in the back room.
Yeah, he killed birds. Hold on.
No, he didn't kill birds. He stuffed birds.
No, he put a bunch of poison in the bird feeder.
It didn't work. Bird got up and left. I kept waiting for that to be like a dream or a mirage. It just was a live bird that flew away that never came back. I really thought that was going to be this, not this time because I've seen the movie before. But when I saw it the first time, I really thought that was going to be this real important moment where later in the movie, Norman would look over and see the bird dead on the table that never got up and flew away. And he realized that he hadn't.
Right. Yeah. That was something.
It was nothing. It was literally nothing. It was just the bird was still alive.
Just like the nun.
No, the nun matters. The bird didn't matter. That's what it was so weird. Because isn't there like something there if he looks over and realizes that maybe he's been viewing the world too optimistically and he's not okay. But he wasn't trying to be okay. He didn't know there was anything wrong with him.
And the bag that the dead bird was in starts shaking and rattling out of nowhere like a horror movie. So it was meant to scare you. So then draw attention to it. It could have absolutely been some kind of like break with reality or something.
Yeah. And it wasn't.
No.
It was very strange. It was just to get him to look outside and see the Duke was there. What a weird choice. But I'm here for it. Business at the motel is completely dead since he fired Dennis Franz and his hourly rates.
Dennis Franz, say what you want. He was a businessman. He knew how to bring in the customers.
He did. He had that place booming. Mm-hmm. He offers him the job for $5 an hour, which in 2026 eyes seems like nothing. But we've been here now twice recently. It's like 3 times that much. It's not that bad for 1986 money, honestly.
No.
And Duke's just trying to save up to put some money away, fix his car, and head off to be a musician.
And rape many more people.
I don't know that he raped anybody. Attempted rape.
Attempt to rape.
I attempted to go to college. It doesn't mean I'm a college graduate.
I went to college a bunch.
Yeah, I went for way more than 4 years.
Me too.
I just don't have anybody telling me that was good enough. Also, it might just be $5 an hour, but there's not a lot of work to do.
And it seemed like he was working days and Anthony Perkins was working nights.
Well, the only drawback is that your boss is literally a psychopath, I guess. But he doesn't know that yet.
As long as you're a woman who's not looking like Marion Crane, I think you're okay. So being his employee is fine.
Well, they're still talking about the disappearance of Emma Spool in town. Not in town. I got to get this right. Because this movie is very confused about the location of the motel. And it bothered me because I'm a Psycho fan and a Psycho 2 fan. So they're the diner, which is not in town. It's very important that it's not in town. The only things that are around were supposed to be this motel and somehow within walking distance, this diner that's always booming with people.
Because it's on the road.
It's not. It's not.
Because the highway passed them by.
That's what's annoying about the use of this diner the last 2 movies is that it's always full.
It's not always full.
It's always full.
There's a handful of people.
We'll get to it. Mm-hmm. They're talking about the disappearance of Emma Spool still, so we know that it's only been a short while since the last movie ended.
That was the person from the second movie who said, "I'm your mom."
Yeah. The sheriff remains on Norman's side, which is nice because the reporter's there trying to.
Yeah, what was her deal?
She's digging up stuff on what was her thing? She was doing a story about the insanity plea.
Yeah,
I don't understand why she needed to talk to Norman Bates about that, because Norman Bates, I guess he didn't go to jail, right? He went to it, so I guess that's why.
Regardless, what happened to her? She die? I didn't even notice.
Pete, we're nowhere near that.
But I want to know now.
She didn't die.
Oh, that's annoying.
So Norman Bates, I'm sure they would have used the insanity plea. And he went to a mental health facility for 22 years. So I guess I'm just like, I guess that he didn't go to prison, but it's not like it's any better.
But he was okay
He's still
until
confined.
part 2.
No, he was, 4 days? He was still confined for 22 years. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just not drawing the distinction that she needed to get up to Fairvale, even though they're not in Fairvale, which is what I want to get to in a minute.
I don't even know what Fairvale is.
Well, the guy working at the diner said that Norman has paid his debt to society, and when he worked there, he was always on time. But we watched Psycho 2. He worked there for 3 days.
He was always on time, though.
I know, but this is also the guy that he burned with fryer grease. Because in that 3 days, he had a manic episode about seeing a note from his mother, burned this guy's arm with the grease fire. A woman disappeared. Another woman murdered everybody in the eyes of the thing. Those are 2 employees that he worked with, his 2 friends at the job. And he had an altercation with Toomey, with Dennis Franz in the middle of the thing. He was there for 3 days.
But at no point in those 3 days was he late. You understand. He's paid his debt.
Norman pops into the diner and orders his food, and the reporter tries to interview him. But Norman sees Maureen outside and immediately has flashbacks.
Oh, because she looked like Marion. I couldn't figure out why he was just staring at her. I thought he was just like a horn dog.
That's a good question. Has Norman Bates ever had sex?
No.
I don't think so.
It was very clear. Maybe with his dead mom.
I don't think so.
It seemed like...
Maybe with his live mom.
That's true. It seemed like Duke wanted to have sex with the dead mom.
Yeah, we'll get to Duke. There's a lot of Duke coming in my recap. And there's a little Duke going, too.
Because, well, no, I thought he would stay. He's not a stupid bitch.
That's true. He did stay. And he didn't even die when you thought he died. Oh, fuck, he's cool in this movie. The movie's showing us stuff from Norman's perspective for the first time ever, because it couldn't before. Because the movie's, for the first time, not trying to trick us. It's just examining a story of, now we're getting to see basically the first Psycho from the perspective of understanding who Norman is. Which is what makes this movie kind of interesting to me, is that this is the thing that would have been happening behind the scenes that they're tricking us with in the first one. These conversations, Norman's actions, and then his complete disassociation with the fact that he's done any of this.
You're really excited to see this movie, weren't you?
I love this character.
Okay, yeah, you really do. I didn't realize when we were watching it how excited you were about this. Like, you've got like serious thoughts about this movie.
If you would have reached into my popcorn bucket, you would have seen how excited I was.
The old hole in the popcorn bucket?
Yeah, and I got really hot butter on there.
Well,
so we have to go to the doctor in between this and the drive-in, because I have some third-degree burns on.
You asked him to put extra butter in there.
I know, it was weird that he did it, because he knew.
By the way,
I was holding it.
Right there
on my crotch.
I thought it was odd. I didn't want to say anything, but who knows? I thought you were balancing it, trying to get all your stuff through.
Thought he was in on the joke.
Apparently not, or maybe he was.
Anyway, Maureen ends up at the Bates Motel, because literally where else is she going to end up? They're in the middle of nowhere, despite this movie forgetting it. Duke is so charismatic that he quickly diffuses the situation between himself and the woman he just sexually assaulted the night before. And I watched him do it, and I was still like, yeah, all right, they could probably be friends.
It was horrifying. He's just there. He just like imposes his greasy will upon her, and she, being the nun who keeps trying to kill herself for some reason,
has not killed her. She tried to kill herself one time at this stage,
and she failed hard.
She failed in the worst way you can fail. She meant to take herself out, literally took out a different person.
That is probably the worst. Maybe another busload of children or something.
I guess it could get worse the more people you take
right,
out. But it's still, aiming for one and hitting a different one is a bad way to go. Remember to aim.
Yeah, right. That's what I learned from that DARE program.
Duke gave her cabin 1, which is the worst one he could have given her, of course, because that's where Marion Crane met her demise, if I was Quint from Jaws.
That's right.
Celebrating my third wife's demise.
When Anthony Perkins found out about cabin 1 being rented, he seemed to panic and freak out. But if he was already crazy, why would that bother him?
No, he knows what happened. He just doesn't at this point know that he did it. He's afraid that Mother's going to be going.
Oh, I see.
So we're right back to square one, Norman.
He's absolutely insane. He thinks his mom's alive.
To the point where there's an interesting moment when she does try to kill herself. That when they get to the hospital after that we're going to get to, that kind of really shows who this Norman Bates is, and it's why this character is so fascinating to me. Well, Norman talks things over with his mother, which is this great scene, but they do have to make the choice about whether or not you're seeing his mouth move or not, and they decided it's not, which is fine. I don't need to see his mouth doing it. In fact, they save it for late in the movie, and it's awesome. So I don't know how many actors could have pulled it off because it's so ridiculous, but it's awesome. The voice he hears just comes from the corpse. And he interacts with it. Duke heads to a bar. Now, I have no idea where this fucking bar would be, because this is where I started having trouble with the geography of the town. I know that they're not that far from Fairvale. I believe they're 15 miles from Fairvale.
Based on what?
Previous movies.
Jesus Christ.
So, it's not that long a drive from the bar. especially when you don't care about drunk driving, as I'm sure Duke does not.
It does not strike me as a sober, responsible type.
But he runs into the reporter. So the reporter was just at the diner, and he was just at the motel. I doubt they both drove to Fairvale. So this is just a bar that is also now on this strip?
Yes.
Okay.
There's always roadside diner bars.
And the bar's pretty empty. The bar's pretty empty at first blush, but later just people just pop in when they need to pop in. It's very strange. Suddenly there's people there when they finish their conversation. But when he's talking to her, he's hitting on her, and she's not going for it. So he leaves a matchbook from the motel, which says it's in Fairvale. The motel is not in Fairvale. The entire reason he can't make money is that the motel's not in Fairvale. So it leads me to two important questions. Number one, why would Norman Bates write Fairvale on the matchbooks? Number two, why would he buy matchbooks for the motel? Why would he have them made? Why would he pay the money he doesn't have to have those made? Now, if it's only been a short time since 2, we can guess that Dennis Franz did it.
100%.
Okay,
that's what happened. Dennis Franz came in and said,
"So Dennis Franz didn't know what town he was in."
No, I will say, having lived way out in the middle of nowhere, you can, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're just given you're part of whatever town it is, even though you live out in bumfuck.
I understand that.
So that's what I think is happening here in Fairview.
Fairvale. You've heard me say it 10 times. And I don't think that's going to help people find the motel.
No, but on when you use your Googles, it helps you find it.
Oh, is that what people are doing?
And that's why they had matchbooks too, because you had to put your address everywhere. People couldn't just look up hotels. Dennis Franz really knew what the fuck he was doing, man. Like, you can't, like, that's where I find stuff nowadays. Yellow pages, goddamn matchbook covers, and flyers that are posted up on places.
They're not in Fairvale. Back at the motel, Norman is peeking into the cabin one again. That's his favorite hobby.
Little hidey hole.
He's got 2 hobbies. I stuff birds. I watch women. He also has the best radar for knowing when women are going to go in the shower in cabin one. Mm-hmm. He just knows. He just
he can hear the plumbing.
Oh, we should get that fixed.
No, he likes it. That's his little thing. But I didn't realize there was a little peephole there when he was just staring at the picture of the naked lady. I'm like, is he about to bust one to an old-timey painting?
You have to be the only person in the world whose brain is capable of forgetting how the shower scene in Psycho works. Like, literally begins with him staring through that peephole.
But I don't remember the painting in front of it. So he was just staring at the painting. And then it kept, like, narrowing in on the naked lady. Then it narrowed in more. Then we're just looking at her boobs. Which is funny, because then when he peeps through the peephole, we didn't see boobs. We saw a butt.
So, like, everyone else watching this movie today saw him staring at that painting and went, oh, he's going to pull it down and stare through the hole. And you went, that's a weird painting.
Look at them boobies.
And you're the one I do the podcast with. That's interesting. I don't know what that says about me.
But then we saw the butt, and I got really excited, even more excited than you with the popcorn. I was like, I didn't expect this in a Psycho movie. Like, famously, that's the whole thing of part 1. Was there a nipple or no nipple?
It's not. There's none.
No, but that's what the debate is.
No. In this one, there's a nun, and she's in. There's none in the shower.
That was really good. Oh, all right, Fun Time Brian's back.
Oh, I hope it's exhausting compared to just doing the cocaine.
Well, I like it. Keep them puns a-coming.
Norman, as he always does, looks through the peephole, and then he gets aroused, and that's when the mother side takes over. So he changes into his mother getup.
Oh, that makes sense because it's a bad thing, and his mom is scolding him, so he can't have that. So he knows he's in trouble.
Can't exactly trust the doctor at the end of the first one anymore because he was so wrong about walking around talking in her voice. Although he wasn't, because he did do it later. So I don't know. I don't know how we got that information again. He claims that Norman was jealous of his mother when she took a new lover, and now whenever Norman gets aroused, he assumes the mother side would be jealous of him, so the mother takes over and kills people. That's where it's crimes of passion. So when he dresses up in his getup and he pulls back the curtain for the shower scene, she's laying in a bathtub full of blood because she slit her wrists. It's an awesome idea. An awesome idea, considering that what you expect from the shower scene in Psycho is the opposite of this, and she's already trying to take herself out. Now, this is where, when the first time I saw the movie, I was confused. Like, did Mother take her to the hospital, or did just he like look down and become Norman again? No. They tell you, and it's so silly when you hear it, the excuse for why she's now at the hospital. Because she looks up and sees him and sees the Virgin Mary with the crucifix and thinks that, I don't know what she thinks. She's not the main character. I don't care about what she thinks. And she's a woman. I don't have to think about it at all.
Yeah, you and Duke.
Me and Duke, we're going to play guitar. We're going to have a band.
You're going to start a rock and roll lifestyle.
So when they get to the hospital, the sheriff is like, it's a good job, Norman. And the reporter's like, yeah, you don't think this is a coincidence? There's fucking another person almost dead in here. And what was he doing there? And he's like, he was bringing her fresh towels. He was bringing her fresh towels. That's the funniest part, is that they don't show the scene, but Norman doesn't know what happened here. Norman doesn't know that he went in there dressed as mother and found her. Norman found her because he literally went upstairs, changed, came down and said, oh, I better put fresh towels in that room. That's literally what happened.
You think that's what happened?
100%. Because Norman's not lying about anything. That's why he's so hard to get in these, when the interviewers and reporters trying to get at him. He's not lying about anything.
Also, she was a bad reporter.
No, she figured some stuff out that I didn't remember was going to happen.
Duke was a better investigative reporter than she was. He was putting together some clues.
Duke got all the information from her.
Yeah, but then he found all the clues. He was the one who was like, and then she was poo-pooing him with that when he slept with the one woman and kicked her out and then she died.
We haven't gotten to that yet.
And then there's a $5. Well, there was a $5. You forgot the other important part.
Pete, we haven't gotten to that yet.
You forgot about the $5 bill with the corner ripped off.
Pete, we haven't gotten to that yet.
No, that happened earlier.
No, it hasn't.
No, because the nun gave it to Duke when he was working at the register.
No, Pete.
When she checked in, he said, it's $25.
Okay, sure, but that none of that matters where that came from.
But we forgot to bring it up.
But it doesn't matter.
It does matter because he figures out this is how...
No, it matters the next time we see it and the next time after that. It actually doesn't matter how it got into circulation in the first place. You know what they didn't put you in there? They didn't show you how it got ripped. They didn't put in there when it was off the printing press. Why didn't they do this? You know why, Pete? Because the $5 bill is not the main character of the movie Psycho 3. I'm getting more afraid of what's going to happen when we do Big Trouble in Little China.
I understand it's not the main character.
Do you? Because it seems like you're unsatisfied with the telling of its origin story.
No, I'm just saying it becomes important later, and you need to establish it.
And I'm saying you literally didn't need to establish it. Just seeing it the one time would have been enough.
Yeah, but Anthony Perkins told him it's $20 a single and $25 a double. And when she showed up after almost being raped by him, she's like, "How much is the room?" He's like, $25. And then he takes the extra $5 because he's a jerk.
Okay. Now we get to Duke taking a girl home from the bar. A girl who wasn't in the bar when he showed up. But then by the time they finished the conversation, there was two girls staring at him.
Yeah. He looked in the mirror and they looked back at him. And it was like, you know what's going to happen.
This is where we get this fascinating scene with the lamps. As he's sitting there naked in the chair, covering himself with lamps, pointing spotlights at her. Pete, this is Silence of the Lambs shit.
This is also, though, at the same time, the booster party for the high school football is happening, right? Like, everyone's out there.
No, Pete, you've once again jumped to the next scene.
Really?
Yes, they're not there yet.
They're not there yet.
No.
I don't believe that. No. So he's just there being all creepy and weird with his lamps, and she's dancing.
Sexy. Don't forget sexy.
Don't forget sexy. Did she meet Anthony Perkins yet? Because remember she ran out there?
Yeah, she runs into them near the ice machine.
And you know what? I knew she was probably going to get naked because I saw her nipples through her shirt when she was talking to Anthony Perkins, and he was looking at him too.
You have a similar radar to Norman in the showers. Duke tosses her out with just her underwear bottoms on and throws his clothes at her, just in case you weren't sure. But he does give her cab money.
And what was the cab money?
This is the only time you needed to see it. It was a $5 bill with the corner torn off.
Right, but he would whatever. It mattered. He threw her out. She's like, "Oh, don't tell me you don't like to cuddle." And he's like, "Get out!" And he threw her out. It was terrible. He's a jerk.
Well, he tells her to use the payphone to call for a ride, even though there's phone in the office, no one's standing in. There's phones all over the place. Mother finds her in the phone booth trying to make that call and kills her. And Norman sees the blood and cleans it up after his mother, like he always does. That's pretty funny to me. The next morning, he's just out there on his hands and knees cleaning up the blood. And Duke's like, "Early start today, huh, Norman?"
Why is that funny to you?
Because
he's killing people. Poor Norman. I feel bad again.
No, Norman's not killing people. The mother's killing people.
No.
Who's the better hotel employee? Norman, where you're probably going to get murdered if you're a hot chick. Duke, who doesn't really seem to care about any of the duties he has to do and is overcharging people. Or Dennis Franz, who is, I mean, at least he has a business plan, but he's running a drug-fueled hourly rate sex motel. Who's the better one?
That's tough. Really, the least damaging to society is probably Duke.
I know, weird, isn't it?
Right, but he's the worst of them.
I don't think that's true.
He seems like
I think Norman might be the worst of them.
Norman never tried to rape anybody.
No, he can't. He's an incel.
I don't even think he's that. I don't know what he is.
No, he can't rape anybody.
Except maybe his mother.
Oh, he does kiss a corpse, doesn't he?
Yeah, so
That's
does
a weird
Duke.
moment. That's not as weird to me. That makes total sense. One of those fits their character completely. The other one doesn't.
You are so accepting of all of Duke's little foibles that it's scary.
The difference is very clear. Duke is clearly an unhinged, dangerous psychopath. Norman Bates isn't. Mother is. So watching Norman Bates do it as Norman Bates is very weird. He eats his sandwiches in milk.
Yeah, why does he do that?
Because he likes sandwiches and milk. Because he's a child. He never grew up.
And when he went to the diner, he had a chicken fried steak and a milk.
Well, it's a good thing Duke overcharged for that room, by the way. Because Duke sees that $5 back in the register that morning and starts to piece together that something is weird. And he calls the reporter and tells her about it. And now she's dismissive about him being accusatory about Norman, which is the opposite of her character.
I told you she was a bad reporter.
It was a weird choice.
And that's why I'm annoyed that she survived. Because Duke was so terrible and such a bad guy, I found myself being on the side of Norman Bates. So I didn't like any of the people who were trying to bring him down.
Well, now it's homecoming weekend.
No, it's not homecoming. It was a football game. Oh, that's what they do at homecoming, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
The reporter's investigating Emma Spool's place. I don't know why someone would let her in there. That just seems weird. But the guy's reason is that it's an old folks' home, so he never sees anybody under the age of like 70 with varicose veins or whatever he says.
And she was late
She's
on
a
rent.
creep too. Yeah, that's why she's late on rent.
So he doesn't care.
She finds the phone number for the motel written on a magazine cover, and there's a picture of Spool that's clearly just a screenshot from the last movie. It's my favorite thing movies do when they're like, we're not going to ask her for another photo.
So we'll just take a picture of our movie.
In Scream 6, they have an actual home video, an old home video that Jack Quaid made playing. They asked him, can we use that? They didn't just be like, here's a picture of Jack Quaid from the original movie, which is what most movies in the 80s would have done. My favorite one of all is Star Trek 3, where to find out what happened with Spock at the end, where he could have possibly put his consciousness, they just watched the end of Star Trek 2 with the same edits and cuts.
Wait, what?
They're watching the video footage of what happened in Star Trek 2, but it's just the movie Star Trek 2.
So we're watching the movie?
They're watching the movie Star Trek 2.
And we're watching them.
We're watching them watch the movie Star Trek 2. As if it was security footage, but it has the same cuts and it has the same...
That's pretty good.
They just put in Star Trek 2 and watched it.
That's pretty good. That's how you make a movie.
Norman takes Maureen to a nice restaurant, so they must be in Fairvale. They took a cab to Fairvale.
What if it's Fairvale County?
It isn't.
How do you know?
Because I've never seen a county listed that way anywhere where it's Fairvale or there's no Erie, New York.
I don't think there is a town, just maybe a couple of cluster of buildings.
There's an actual town. There's a town with a football team, a high school football team, and there's a town with this restaurant.
But it's not like a big town. So it's part of
big
the
enough.
whole area.
It's big enough to have a high school.
Yeah. But it's probably for the whole area, like hundreds of miles they ship these kids in.
There's no housing in the part of the world that Norman Bates and this diner and apparently this bar exist in. So nobody has to go to school. I've never seen a house. You ever seen a house?
No, that's a good point. I've only seen 3 buildings, 4 if you count the hotel separate
Duke
from the
drove
house.
through the fucking desert to get there. There's nothing there. When we get back to the motel, Maureen sees Mother in the window, and I guess it turns around because she tries to fuck Norman.
Yeah.
Norman would be in his 50s by now, and I'm positive he's never had sex.
Now, Norman, this was after they went on a date, and he taught her how to dance, correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to speed it along so this episode isn't 2 hours long. Well, Maureen wakes up alone because Norman doesn't want any part of it. And Norman tells her to go back to her room and lock the door because Norman is having a real struggle with his mother over what to do with Maureen because she wants to kill her. And I think Norman sees her as his opportunity to not undo, but to do right by something he did wrong in the past because he's seeing Marion Crane and he doesn't want to kill her. And he doesn't even want to turn into Mother to kill her, which he isn't consciously doing. But that argument with Mother is okay, he saw her and then flipped right into Mother mode. This time he didn't. He went on a date with her. He managed to dance with her. He was in bed with her. And he didn't flip to Mother mode. In fact, he goes upstairs and he has to tell his mother, you know what? Fuck off. We're not doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm going to protect her. And it's an interesting way to look at the Norman character because he always has no control over it. Now he's starting to have some control.
Because he's trying to right his wrong.
Yes. That's what her character is. It's his redemption in his mind. It's not going to go well for Norman.
It's not going to go well for the nun.
Nobody cares. It's not her movie.
But then why did we start with her?
She's like the $5 bill.
You're killing me.
One of the guests heads into the office looking for a bathroom, and she pisses with the door open, which is weird. And then her throat is slashed. And that seems kind of great. That's like a great 80s kill scene. No, because it's everything about it's just a little bit weird, a little bit sleazy. The kill's really good. It comes out of nowhere very quickly. Because you're sitting there going, why the fuck are you pissing with the door on in a public office? And then her throat gets slashed. But she looks up and she's like, oh, what are you doing there, miss? And then she kills. It's like, I don't know why they're hiding it. You know who it is. There's not a secret killer this time. This was just done for artistic reasons, but I thought it worked.
The artistic reason to have a girl peeing on camera? This sounds like the stuff that was in that back room at the video store.
I didn't read that one. Norman enters and finds the body. And I love when he discovers his own work. And he just has no idea that he did it. Love it. The next morning, the police arrive and ask about the guests and ask about one guest who never made it home last night. But that means that these people got drunk, did drugs, partied, and then left in the middle of the night.
They did. We watched them all drive away.
I know, it's weird.
I don't know why these people do that. Oh, because I think only some stayed at the hotel.
They have a warrant to search the property. And when they get to his mother's room, the body is gone. They don't notice a body in the bloody ice in the ice machine, even when the sheriff eats some of the bloody ice. I kept waiting for him to put that ice down.
Yeah.
And he ate it, and he's like, oh, good.
Right, exactly.
Weird. It's a weird choice.
Well, then they zoom in on his mouth, sucking on the bloody ice.
It was weird. And he gets all the blood off it because he takes the ice back out and it's clear. So he just sucked on the blood, and he didn't notice it. What's he eating? What's the diner? What's the food like in that diner?
I don't know. Maybe they're all vampires, and that's a different story. We don't know. Daywalkers.
Oh. I see, they're all blade.
They're all blades.
Maureen says that Norman was with her all night. Even that's a lie. But I understood what that lie was. Because she does think he did it at that moment. Because she's just been filled in by the reporter, everything about him. She does think he did it. She also thinks she owes him one because he saved her life by taking her to the hospital. So I think that was just like, I'm washing my hands of this. I'm out of here. I'm leaving with this reporter. But I owed you one.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think that's what it was.
It could have been.
And she liked Norman enough. Even when she found all that out, she wasn't going to turn on him in an instant. But I really think it was, you know what? Even if you did it, you saved me, and I'm going to give you this, and then I'm never coming back. This is why it's so funny. The next scene, she's like, well, I have to go back.
Well, that's because...
She's not the main character. You're going to say it? You're going to say it?
No.
That's why it's okay?
No, actually, quite the opposite. I think she knew her new mission from St. Mary told her that she had to save Norman, and she was still unsure, and she was not accepting the challenge from God. So she decided.
I don't think that's true at all.
100%. That's what she.
And you know why I think that? Because this next scene when she's talking to the priest, she literally says, "I don't know what any of this meant." She voices out loud, what is she saying to me? Right. What does she want from me? She doesn't land on that.
No.
In fact, she lands on, I'm getting out of here, but I'm going to throw this schmuck that probably killed this girl a free pass because he saved my life.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. Like she said it. Maybe it was God talking through her.
Well, Norman's off searching for Mother, and he finds a note saying she's in cabin 12. And she's just there watching cartoons.
As one does.
Well, Duke sings a song on his guitar. An awesome song. Jeff Fahey is awesome in this movie.
What else has Jeff Fahey done?
I don't even know.
Because I feel like the name is familiar, but it might just be from looking at the credits and seeing his name.
I couldn't tell you what he's in, and I have no way of looking it up.
No.
So I know he was the pilot in Lost that pops up eventually.
The pilot in
But he wasn't like a main character on Lost. He just pops up for an episode or two, and he's the pilot that they thought had died, and it's Jeff Fahey. Maybe it's a flashback. I don't remember because I haven't seen Lost in a long time.
Me neither.
But I just remember him popping up and going, it's Jeff Fahey from Psycho 3. He's so good in this movie. Duke wants to extort money from Norman, who has no money. But he's like, you got this big property. You could sell some of this property. And I was like, did Duke just finally solve the financial problems that Norman Bates has been having since at least 1960? in a way that even I didn't think about for now 26 years.
There's probably bodies buried all over that property.
Well, that's the problem. He needs all the acreage because he's got the swamp. He can dump things in, dump bodies in. His mother would never let him sell that property.
No, she's crazy.
She is. And Norman throws an ashtray at him and hits him with a lamp. And Norman still thinks he's protecting his mother, which I think is pretty fucking cool, honestly. Explaining that to Duke is Perkins' best moment in the scene, that he has to protect his mother. It's so... Because his mother's sitting there dead.
Yes.
Duke's like, got hit with an ashtray, got hit with a lamp, and he's like, what the fuck is happening? How am I getting beat up by this little nerd? And he starts screaming at him manically, which you never see him lose control like that. And I really loved Anthony Perkins just being like, you know, I have to protect her. It's so good. His performance is so good again. And he directed this, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
He beats Duke, he thinks, to death with his guitar, which is great because he kept saying, don't touch the guitar. And he says it one more time, and then he gets beat to, you think, death with the guitar, which would be Norman Bates killing someone as Norman Bates.
That's true.
Which we've never seen happen. Well, no, we saw him kill his mother, fake mother, Emma Spool.
That's right.
But he was already gone at that point. He'd been dragged back into the...
But he wasn't his mother yet, right? He was still him.
I think he was having those conversations with her when she wasn't even there again.
Okay.
So I don't know that we've ever seen Norman kill someone. He did kill his own mother as Norman.
We know that?
Yes.
How did she die? I don't remember.
Strychnine. Terrible way to go.
Okay. Is that what the guy said at the end of part one?
Yeah. He starts to clean up his body and the one in the icebox, and I don't even know where a third body came from. Was it also in the icebox? Because he has the third body now. He's got the one that was in the bathroom, Duke, and the one who was in the phone booth.
Yeah.
But I never really caught where the third body came from. Just said he had the third body. That's the one he kisses.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know where he popped that. Where was he hiding her? I don't know. But now he's got three bodies. And I don't like that moment where he kisses the dead girl, because that's not a Norman Bates thing.
You know what it was? It was him deciding he could practice on a dead girl because he was thinking he was doing good to get with the nun.
But he did kiss the nun. So I'm confused about...
He needed more practice.
I guess
He
so.
thinks she ran away because he was a bad kisser.
He ran away. So
No, but then she left the next day.
Oh, I see.
He thinks it was because it was bad kissing.
it just feels so un-Norman-like, but it also feels kind of right for this movie.
Well, we just saw Norman kill somebody for the first time.
That's true. Now he's got to fuck dead people.
That's the next step.
Plot twist, Duke's alive, and he attacks Norman from the back seat, which is an awesome-looking scene as he's draped. And
he's covered in the plastic.
yeah, it's pretty great. He drives the bodies out to the swamp, and he drives the car into the lake, because it's not a swamp. He doesn't drive into a swamp. There's no swamp-like aspects of this. It's just a lake.
There were reeds. There were
Tara Reid?
Yeah, there's Tara Reid standing there.
Who's the second Reid?
Andre.
Oh, nice.
Thanks.
Maybe the swamp's a lot less swamp-like than before, but the car fills up with water and sinks to the bottom, but he escapes. A weird action scene for Psycho 3.
He kills Duke again, though. He steps on his throat and holds his face underwater.
Yep. The reporter's tracking down the possible existence of Emma Spool's child. So this late into the movie, we finally got to the reporter doing something that actually matters.
Oh, see, at this point, I stopped caring about her because I hated her.
Well, the reporter takes what she found to the priest and tries to get Maureen to recant her alibi that she gave Norman, but she's already gone because Maureen literally left one scene. We saw no scenes in between, and then she said, I gotta go back now.
Yeah.
It was weird.
This is why I feel like there was more that needed to be said about this nun. Why don't we know any of her motivations or actions or what's driving her?
It was just an unnecessary trip.
Yeah, it 100% was. But why did it happen?
She heads back into the Bates house and tells Norman that she has faith in him. That was her arc. She lost her faith, but she found her faith in him after learning he killed people.
And then she gets killed.
Accidentally.
Yeah, but still she gets killed.
He hears Mother's voice, and he accidentally sends Maureen down the steps like Arbogast in the original, and she impales the back of her head on a statue and dies.
That's just like what happened to the other nun when she tried to kill herself at the beginning of the movie. Like it's an accidental fall.
Oh, God works in mysterious ways.
What an arc.
So at this moment watching the movie, if this was supposed to be his redemption, it's not lost.
Yeah. Right? Because where do you go?
Well, where he goes is into Mother's room and starts yelling at her for this being her fault. So at least he took it that way.
Yes.
That I'm blaming you and I'm not blaming myself, which is nice. It's like character growth.
It was. All right.
The reporter pops in and finds Maureen dead, and she runs into Norman as mother, and now talking with her voice, which is a moment that should not work, but totally works.
I thought it was kind of cool as he's stalking her in the dress down the hallway.
She discovered the spool was not his mother, that she was a crazy person. It was his aunt, and she was in love with his father, and she kidnapped Norman when he was very young and killed the father. And they're retconning out so that Mrs. Bates is now his mother again, which is nice because I hated the Emma Spool thing.
Yeah.
I loved it for what they needed for the end of that movie, but as soon as this one started, you could tell they were like, we don't really want to deal with this.
I heard all of that, but I don't believe it because she was such a terrible reporter.
That's true. Norman attacks Spool's corpse instead of attacking the reporter. And my favorite thing is she criticizes him as he does it. Mothers, man. Even fake mothers.
Yeah, they always be yelling.
He can't do anything right. The police take Norman into custody, and the sheriff tells him he'll never get out again. And Norman replies, but I'll finally be free, which is a great ending to the Norman Bates character if they didn't immediately undo it a moment later. I hate the final image of this movie.
But can we go back to the sheriff saying, he didn't just say, you're never getting out again. He said, why'd you do? You made a fool out of me.
Yeah.
That's great. That poor sheriff.
Well, he's sitting in the back of the cop car, and he has hidden Emma Spool's hand, and he starts stroking it and looking crazy in the backseat, undoing the perfect ending they just gave the character.
He's still crazy.
I get that he's still crazy, but why is he holding that hand? That's not even his mother. That's just a random woman's hand.
He isn't. He wants to save it for. Oh boy, somehow he's going to use that hand as a stranger.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know how, but that's what I think his plan is.
What'd you think of Psycho 3?
I still don't know. It was a weird one because it was fun and there was good acting, but I don't understand the nun. You've tried to explain it to me, but I don't understand any of the motivation other than he's crazy.
I'll explain it this way. If you want her arc, it is, I've lost my faith. I found my faith in a psychopath, and then God took me out for killing one of his sisters or daughter. What are they? His daughters. I don't know what nuns are.
I don't know what they are.
I don't either.
Mothers?
They're his mothers. He killed one of his nuns. So God's like, it's great you found faith. Now I'm taking you out too, bitch.
That does sound like God.
You could have been coming, but instead you're going. That's what God said.
But doesn't he kill bad people, Norman Bates? Like, well, some of them are good, but he killed like Dennis Franz. He
didn't kill Dennis Franz. Emma Spool killed Dennis Franz.
Oh, yeah. So he does just kind of kill women.
Yep.
And Jeff Fahey that one time.
He had no choice on that one. He was going to expose what his mother was up to.
His mom kills
That's why I love
women.
that scene so much, is that it's not like I have to prevent you from telling anybody what I did. It's like she can't be taken away.
This is 100% not what I expected in a third movie in the Psycho franchise.
No.
I've never seen them.
It's a fascinating franchise.
I've never seen them up until now because I just assumed they were bad. I saw part 2 a while ago whenever we watched it for the podcast, and then I saw this one here now, and it's not what I expect.
No, they're great movies.
This is weird.
I mean, they're not great movies.
No,
I think the second one is a great movie. I think this one's a pretty interesting 1986 slasher that drops the earnest portrayal of Anthony Perkins into the middle of the sleaze fest that we get in actual horror movies now.
I don't think it would have worked without Jeff Fahey.
No, Jeff Fahey's so fucking good. I said that, like, it doesn't feel like he's even in this movie. It feels like he's in his own world. But it almost feels like this is the Jeff Fahey movie, and Norman Bates is just, like, wandering around the 80s, schlocky 80s Jeff Fahey slasher movie. And that's what it feels like.
And he's
awesome.
not in it a bunch. He's only in it, a few scenes, but he's just such a...
dynamic.
100%, because everyone else is just kind of stock and rote, and they're not that interesting as characters.
I know he was in stuff. I know he was an actor for a long time that did, like, I just don't know any of it is, which after watching his performance in this seems insane to me, that he didn't go from this to getting major things that are memorable.
I wonder if he's got just a bunch of, like, underrated horror movies or something.
I don't know. He was so perfectly suited for this character. I can't imagine anybody else playing it.
All right, well, I got a quick credit check for you. Quick. All right. No, I don't want to do my credit check now. I'm just going to tell you what number it was. It was
211.
28111.
I knew there was ones.
How did you know there were ones?
I didn't leave the theater this time. I had burns on my penis.
Did you notice how the music switched to super happy music at the very, very end? And then we just went out on a cheerful note? It was weird.
No, it's just like the movie. Norman went on a cheerful note, too.
Yeah, it matched it perfectly. Now that you've explained it, it sits better. I understand it.
Well, next Wednesday, we're going to classes join up a bit with Michael Mann's Manhunter.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
I'm sure you saw it before.
I saw it once before, a long time ago.
Based on, of course, Red Dragon by Thomas Harris, the book before Silence of the Lambs. And before there was the movie Silence of the Lambs, there was Manhunter, which was remade later as Red Dragon.
Did anyone direct this one?
Michael Mann.
Michael Mann? I thought it was just a made-up name.
Michael Manhunter.
Michael Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter.
Marvin Manhunter.
Michael Mann's Martian Manhunter. Why hasn't that happened? It has this incredible cast of actors who just kept going in their careers and were always good. Brian Cox, Tom Noonan, Joan Allen, Dennis Farina, Stephen Lang, CSI's William Peterson.
Holy moly.
The cast is incredible in this movie.
That's right.
Which is so funny because of our age. We would have been around 13 when Silence of the Lambs came out. So I know we both saw it as teenagers.
Yeah.
Because it was a big deal. And then you find out that there was this movie that has Hannibal Lecter and is not in the same thing, but it's based on that book. So you go watch the movie because you saw Silence of the Lambs and you're like, this is so different. It's very stylish, very 80s, and it's very good. It's just that Silence of the Lambs is like this masterpiece. And it doesn't feel like Silence of the Lambs, but it's so fascinating that it exists.
Okay.
I guess we just got to go to the drive-in now and see.
I am excited. I haven't been to a drive-in in a long time.
Oh, 2 years ago we went to the drive-in.
That's a long time. Because I still haven't been to one back uptime in 2020 whatever.
Nope, 2020 whatever.
2020 whatever, man. I'm living for this. I can't wait. I like this movie.
Big Trouble in Little China.
I do.
People won't hear that until August.
Although, if Kitty finds out that we saw it, there will be consequences.
She's probably going to find out in August.
Well, until then, I'm going to be living it up.
Living La Vida Loca?
Yes.
Like Jeff Fahey?
Like Jeff Fahey. He wants to be a rock and roll singer.
He had a pretty good song.
I don't think it was a good song.
I liked the ending of it. I'm not a music critic. I'm a movie critic. And I like the song where he's singing this song and he goes, Mrs. Bates. And I liked it. I don't know. It had a flourish to it. And he's sitting there by the dead body and she's watching her Woody Woodpecker cartoons.
Jeff Fahey.
Which, by the way, provided a great soundtrack to him matching him to death with the
well, when Woody
guitar.
started laughing, he's like, stop laughing at me.
Yeah. No, it's great. Norman Bates, this is the same thing. You know, Anthony Perkins understands this character. Christopher Reeve understood that character. You could make movies that take risks, and the movies might not work, but the character always works.
I have this bad feeling Jeff Fahey's going to make it onto your league of super bad guys.
No, he's not. I don't think he's the hero of this movie.
You don't think? No, it was Anthony Perkins. He was the hero.
Yes, that's true. The mother side is not.
Right.
And I liked that this time we had an argument between them for the very soul of Norman. And then when the thing that was keeping him somewhat grounded to try to be better was taken from him when she died, he didn't give in to the other side. He went and fought back against it. I enjoy that as a character arc 3 movies into a Norman Bates character.
Yeah. But why couldn't she just be some person and not a nun that we had to have try to kill herself and kill another nun? And then why did I need any of that? Just be a random guest that came to the hotel who looks like the first one.
So that I could make that shower pun earlier.
Oh, right.
Anthony Perkins was looking out.
Obviously.
All right, we're gonna go. We gotta get to the drive-in.
Can't be late. I'm on a good spot.
We have to go to the doctor first, so I get some ointment.
I'm not rubbing it on. I was thinking, like, why do I have to go to the doctor? I'm like, oh boy, I'm not helping.
Well, then we're gonna go to the drive-in and see. You won't hear that till August. Next week you'll hear Michael Mann's Martian Manhunter, starring Brian Cox as a very different Hannibal Lecter,
and I'll talk all about
and Tom Noonan.
I'll talk all about
as the Tooth Fairy.
I'm trying to remember what the movie is.
I'm trying to cut you off.
I know you are.
R.I.P. Lynn Bias.